Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Cam, and welcome back to my Jurassic World Dominion series, where I will be covering every Jurassic Park movie in honor of Jurassic World Dominion coming out, well, by the time this video gets uploaded, next weekend. I've already covered Jurassic Park 1 through 3. If you would like to check those videos out, there will be a playlist link in the eye in the right-hand corner. Go and check it out for yourself. But for right now, let's rip the band-aid off by talking about Jurassic World and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I can't make singular videos for this. I just can't. These movies are not good. I will be breaking it up into sections, so this section will be the Jurassic World section, and the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom will be a little later on. I will timestamp it. If there is a particular section you want to skip to, by all means go and do that. But for right now, let's start off with Jurassic World. This movie tells the story of, well, Jurassic World. It's "The park is open," as the tagline suggests. And InGen, the stupidest company in movie history, is like, yeah, we're doing this whole thing good, when they really don't realize that, they are in trouble. Through a series of events, the dinosaurs begin to rebel, and the whole thing just makes you put your head in your hands like, what were you thinking? The best part of the movie was Chris Pratt. Maybe it's because I've seen many interviews with the guy and he seems like a genuinely cool person, but he is, like I said, he is the best part of this movie. It looks like he's at the very least having the most fun out of everyone there. His relationship with Blue, the Velociraptor, was honestly something. It's the theme in these movies that I have been invested in the most. I have appreciated that. And he seemed genuinely knowledgeable about, the dinosaurs at the park. To the point in several scenes where I'm just like, just listen to the man, he knows what he's talking about. Bryce Dallas Howard was good in her role as well. At the time, there was some complaints about a certain scene where she outran the T-Rex in high heels, but honestly, rewatching the scene, the heels didn't bother me as much. What bothered me was how she was able to outrun the T-Rex at all. It's a T-Rex. I mean, I would imagine it being bigger than her just for the sake of dinosaur versus human. Dinosaur wins every time. Doesn't matter if you're wearing PF flyers. But I liked her character starting off as very much like, this is the superior park, to realizing we have made a colossal mistake. But that's where my positive thoughts kind of end, because this movie, like I said, it is not good. And really, it all boils down to just how dumb the people in this movie are. Especially InGen. Like, how is it possible that they greenlit this park, again, knowing full well of InGen's history with these cloned dinosaurs, knowing it's never gone well for them, and yet the park has succeeded? And the movie doesn't really do a super good job of explaining how they were able to accomplish this. They try, but you see the completed park, and you just feel like there needed to be another movie in the middle of this, to, like, in the middle of, like, Jurassic Park 3 and Jurassic World, to see some kind of transition. But it doesn't happen. Instead, we end up seeing the ferry literally taking the people to the park, and John Williams' theme kicking on, and you're just not expected to question anything. Well, I do, and it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense that the new head of InGen, played by the scientist man from Amazing Spider-Man. He's a very big deal in India, but I can't remember his name off the top of my head. When he said, just like in the words of John Hammond, spare no expense. And I'm like, wait, in The Lost World, John Hammond was like being forced out of his own company. Now all of a sudden InGen's in love with him again? Make it make sense. On top of that, Nick Robertson and his kid brother in the movie, their parents are divorcing, and you could have literally edited it out of the movie, and it honestly would have made no difference. It honestly kind of took me out of it, because the parents sending their kids to see their aunt in Jurassic World, I was just sitting there like, so you're going to tell them that you're divorcing after the papers have been signed? Like, I'm not a parent, I'm not married, so I imagine divorce is very hard. But some kind of deal has to be made where you have to tell the kids, at least, like, say, hey, go to the park, we're going to try and work things out. Like, it just, like, go to the park. And then literally the only scene that you see of them is just like, oh, thank God that's over. And it's just like, again, make it somewhat relevant. Also, the sister talks to Bryce Dallas Howard, they're sisters obviously, and talks about the joys of marriage. And I'm like, you're getting a divorce. Like, Bryce Dallas Howard's kind of dodging a bullet here if you're really thinking about it. So, am I harping on this? Yeah, I am. But, I mean, this movie made a ton of money. So, I just have so many questions. Not to mention that the brothers don't really talk about it. The younger brother has a crying scene where he brings it up, and Nick Robertson's character, God bless him, he's doing his best. He does give a good performance, but the character's just like, people divorce. It happens. It's like, I'm surrounded by idiots. In terms of an action standpoint, the movie actually has some pretty good scenes. It's a bit overdone, like the scene where the flying bird, I think it's a triceratops, picks up the babysitter and the babysitter like suffers like a Mortal Kombat fatality level death. But the action is mostly good. Chris Pratt is good, Bryce Dallas Howard is good, but the rest of the movie, it's just a big old question mark. That being said, though, I am going to give this a forgettable rating. There is actually some good stuff in here, and some potentially good ideas. Never get capitalized, but I'll talk about that in a second. But this movie just confuses the hell out of me, and it doesn't get any better in Fallen Kingdom, so let's get into that. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. We have reached the bottom of the barrel, folks. This movie is bad. Unquestioned. This movie actually starts off... Well, first of all, this movie was directed by J.A. Bayona, who previously had directed The Impossible, and would also direct A Monster Calls, the latter of those two being very underrated, and I highly recommend it. And basically, InGen has realized their mistake, finally, and they're just allowing the dinosaurs to seemingly die off with the rise of a volcanic explosion. However, there is a secret mission to take the dinosaurs and sell them on the black market. Oh, because I guess that'll work. Honestly, that's the least of this movie's problems. Again, just a couple positives. Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard are good. Seeing Jeff Goldblum as Dr. Malcolm in the few scenes that he does have is genuinely a lot of fun, and it was nice to see him. But honestly, that is about it, because this movie is terrible. There's no getting around it. This movie's awful. I honestly really only have two real problems with it. But the problems are so bad that they just kill the movie for me. The first is the commentary. Now, this movie came out in 2018 when Trump was president. Now, I am no real Trump fan. I'm not a fan of him as a politician, human being, and the like. But if you're going to include Trump commentary in your movie or TV show or something like that, be somewhat creative with it. Because there is a line where legitimately one of the characters says, nasty woman. And I was just sitting there like, oh, what could that be referencing? It could be anything. Then on top of that, this movie had the nerve to cast Toby Jones, a great actor, and basically give him the most, one of the worst American accents I think I've ever seen, and to literally give him Trump's hair. It literally, when the wind blows it, it does the whole woo thing. It's like, so completely unsubtle, and it's just so painful to sit through. All this movie needed to do was to joke about how small his hands were, or, I don't know, maybe comment on his down there, and it honestly would have been less subtle. Bill Maher is laughing at how unsubtle these Trump jokes are. Oh, and to top all of that, this is problem number 2, is this character. I don't know her name, and I honestly don't even have the energy to look up her name. I'll probably look it up in post and put in a lower third. But seriously, this character, play the Bill Maher clip.
You know, a picture is worth 1,000 words, but none of those words should be, look at that idiot.
I'm going to spoil the ending of the movie. You don't care. I don't care. Basically, this character takes all the dinosaurs that are in this mansion to be sold to the black market, and she lets them go because her character is a clone of her mother. Like, she's a clone of her mother. And since the dinosaurs are clones, she lets them go when given the chance to kill them off or let them go. She lets the dinosaurs go. And her rationale is, they're clones just like me.
That's stupid! You're stupid! Stop being stupid!
I can't talk about this movie any longer. It's horrid. It's one of the worst blockbusters I've ever seen. Am I being hyperbolic? Maybe a tad. But this movie is bad. To the point where it's kind of like Terminator Genesis or Dark Fate. It killed my love of Terminator to the point where I don't want to hear or see anything related to Terminator for the rest of my life. If I never do hear anything about Jurassic World ever again, it'll be 2 years too soon. I'm not looking forward to Dominion. I think it's going to suck. I could be wrong, and if I am wrong, then I will apologize, and I will admit that I am wrong. But nothing about the trailers has seen that they have learned from any of their mistakes, and I feel like that they're going to double down on it. Well, anyway, what did you all think of the Jurassic World movies? And if you like these movies, that's perfectly fine. I'm not trying to say, oh, you're stupid for liking them. No, that's not my intention. I personally hate these movies, but if you like them, that's more than fine. I know my friend Jacob at Life of the Movies, he really likes them. He embraces the absurdity of them, and I get why. I just can't do it. But what are your thoughts on these movies? Leave your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to read what you have to say about it. If you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below, and if you like this video and you want to see more like it, hit the subscribe button and click the bell to allow notifications. That way when a new video drops, you'll be the first to know about it. My name is Ryan Cam, and I'll see you in the next one.